Alright, what's going on, people? It's me, Aquas, yet again on Shmuptember, final day. Sunday here. Quick shout out to our GLTV staff for changing my time slot here. I gotta do something. Found out I had to do something today when I was gonna play my run later, so thanks for that. And so we still get to have our Fang action here. What you got here is 1990. I think it says 94 there, but pretty sure the game was like 91. But anyway, this is a Data East like shmup hybrid / run and gun game in which you can use customizable mechs to go through branching paths of stages, 12 unique stages altogether, but I'll be doing one route of the game, which is just 5 stages. So if you'd like to help me determine the route through the game, all you need to do, I just need 2 people, and the first 2 people that come in, all you need to do is give me the number 1 or the number 2 in chat. I just need one number from 2 people, 1 or 2, and that will be the route I'll take through the game. We have 2 from Antol. Need a number of 1 or 2 from anybody else in the next like 10 seconds, and then we'll get going or whatever. But yeah, so Fang, this game's pretty sweet. Not many people know about this one. Still doesn't really get a lot of fanfare. Did have a Saturn and PS1 port, and in fact, I'll be playing the Saturn port here. So yeah, the route we'll be taking is 2-2. So 2 was tied to the easy route because 1 is because the routes are defaulted to hard. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys on purpose. So I'm gonna be doing the easy route, the easy route through the game. You have 2 path selections, but nothing is really easy in this game. But the last level on the easy route in particular is difficult. But yeah, pretty tough game, you'll see, but it has a lot of memorization with the enemy spawns, and then also you have to react pretty often, so you can either select a default type mech, or you can do a customization. So I'm gonna go customization, and I think I'm gonna use Flame. We'll go Pile Bunker. We'll go pretty OP here, and then we'll go. Well, we're gonna go with like a pretty strong loadout here. I'm gonna go 6 wheels. So this is a pretty strong loadout. 6 wheels for the mobility is fast, and you can also get 4 helpers to attach. They like hang on to your ship and do aim shots to you. So 2 of the mobility types, you only get 2 of those helpers. The other 2 you get 4. The only downside of this mobility type is I can't jump super high. But anyway, let's get into the game here. Let me get the timer started as well. I haven't forgotten that completely. Alright, we got the timer going. So yeah, we'll go for a 1 credit clear of the game. You have the health bar there up on the top left. If that gets depleted completely, I'll be ejected from the mech and I'll be in like a little man mode. And at that point, if I take 1 more hit in that status, it will be game over. So it's a 1 life health bar type game. The stages are auto-scrolling, so pretty strong aspect of a shmup is that they do auto-scroll, or that you're constantly having to move around, or constantly having to shoot stuff. I think these are some of the big factors. But this is in fact a hybrid game. So here you have like your weapon selection pod. There's 4 weapons, cluster shot, Vulcan, which is what I was just using, and spread shot, laser, and a grenade weapon. Laser Not super good on crowd control, but okay. Does pretty good damage. Grenade, not good on crowd control, but it has the radius explosion of the grenade causes bullet destruction, which can be handy in some of the bosses. So we're gonna go to stage 2. After stage 2, we'll do our first route selection. But yeah, game's really sweet. I have played it for a while now, and it's always fun. Yeah, so I just want to make sure I'm gonna grab a cluster out of this. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to do that, so instead I'm just gonna explode it. So if you shoot the power-ups enough, they just explode as a screen-clearing bomb type of deal. Oh. Got a grenade dropped on top of me there. When you touch enemies, you don't necessarily take damage in this one, which is kind of nice. I was supposed to grab that power-up back there, because even though it was a weapon switch power-up, it does power me up, right naturally. Actually, it didn't quite occur to me before I blew it up. Being low power is not going to hurt me a ton here. But yeah, cluster shot is your go-to weaponry. Assuming you're shooting the right parts of the screen, it's got pretty good crowd control with how it spreads out. Vulcan is better for crowd control, but it just doesn't do enough damage. This weapon can deal a lot of damage. They had me just like on like a ramp there. Yeah, so here I'm just gonna pop this power up so I don't pick the wrong one. And so yeah, I haven't mentioned yet, but you have a sub weapon that you select on the mech select screen, and that has a free charge level sub weapon. So it's charging up there. Now I have level 3. And my sub weapon is a kind of firestorm weapon. It's this thing here. It's pretty heavily damaging, and you can use it to cover your back when you know the enemy is coming from the back, or if you know a tough enemy is coming from the front, or like there's a big enemy you want to take out. And then you have a dash as well, down and jump button with variable jump height as well. And you can hold down to adjust your fall speed. So you get some like decent control there. Then here we're just focusing on this like engine. Watch out for that, and then destroy the engine to kill this boss. Every time you complete a level, you do get 1 bar of health back, up to a maximum of, I think, 2 more bars, so I think that's 9 health for maximum. And so that's really what you're trying to do, set yourself up for the rest of the game, because there's certain sections of the game where you're just gonna take damage. It just gets really crazy. So here's gonna be our first route selection. So the default route selection is hard, and you have to actually select easy if you want to go easy. And you guys gave me the number 2, which was designated to easy, so I'm gonna take the easy route for both path selections. So once again, you have 5 stages games, but due to the 2 route selections, you actually end up having 12 unique levels. So with each individual route, you have unique levels after the route selection for each one, assuming the route selection is different. So I like that. This stage is nice actually, because it's got pretty good pacing and this stage is kind of good training for kind of what the game does. It's not overly difficult this level, but it's kind of long at the same time. will keep you on your toes. And it's kind of a neat level because it's got like this there's like a distress flash in the background that lights up the background as like the set piece of the background. See enemies flying around in the back and they'll come into the front. You actually don't see that in a lot of the other levels, actually. Oh, took a hit there. You really want to take stuff out ASAP, because when stuff gets in a certain range, it'll then take a shot at you. And if you let them get into that range, it can be very surprising. So you often will have to react. So I'm gonna use Firestorm. Then Then I was mashing the shot button there because you can mash out faster firepower with the cluster cannon up close. So that's another reason why the cluster is so good. Otherwise, you do have like a default auto fire rate, but you can actually make it even faster by mashing when you are close up to a target. In other words, point blank. And as for the melee weapon, yeah, so if you choose a melee weapon in your loadout as well, I've chose the pile bunker, which is like kind of this giant bayonet, if you will, that comes out, The melee weapons are used automatically when you're in range to use them, so there it is right there. The pile bunker is really strong, but it has like a second cooldown after you use it. Yeah, so a lot of the times I'm just gonna, like, the way you want to play this game is you want to camp like kind of the front of the screen and aiming upwards. And this is gonna be your best bet for keeping the crowd under control, if you will. I'm just gonna pop this power up because it's kind of in my way. Popping the power-ups to make a bomb is kind of a reference to Silkworm, another arcade game, and similar to Silkworm too. Like in Silkworm, you could play as the Jeep or the helicopter. This is kind of a similar thing going on here. You don't have a Jeep, but you do have like a mech or like a kind of six-wheeler tank type of deal going on. And yes, you can jump on the enemies' heads as well in this game, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this boss is pretty tricky not to take damage. I'll see what I can do. Yep, so I'm gonna take damage there. Now it's gonna start shooting this stuff out. Well, that was a good dodge. There it goes down. Yeah, tough boss. The bosses are pretty unique in this, because when you destroy like the sections of the boss, depending on what order you destroy them in, it'll change the attacks that the boss uses. So actually, I think with this particular setup with the Firestorm, like I break off some of the top targets first, and that changes how the fight plays out. But if I was using like there's a homing missile sub-weapon, like that's gonna destroy this, like probably one of the bottom parts first. Second route selection, gonna go easy again. But yeah, none of the routes are actually easy though. I think the easy routes are maybe very marginally easier, with maybe easy being the most, but for the most part, they're all pretty difficult. This intro of this stage sometimes gets me hit. I think we're okay here. Gotta make sure you don't grab the wrong power-up, because if you get stuck with Grenade and they don't give you a different power-up for a while, Grenade is not going to be useful for like a whole stage. It's just too it just simply does not have enough crowd control power. We will see. I probably will. I think, yeah, I grabbed Grenade for actually the boss of this level, so we will see at least the Grenade. I could probably get away with using Laser for a while just to show it off. But things can go bad in this game pretty quick. So I'm hesitant to do that in the interest of trying to get a 1cc here. Yeah, so you have like these ramps on some of the sections, so like, you know, you get on these ramps you do have free movement, so it is like kind of turns into like kind of shmup, kind of more so gameplay, not tied to the ground. And then there's an underwater level in the game as well, which, you know, you have free movement underwater, so that also becomes a little more shmuppy, if you will. Shmuppy. I'm anticipating a lot of these enemies. Oh, except that one. I got kind of baited in from killing those enemies, but yeah. I know that enemy is there, they just get you still. These are like kind of like the rival mech enemies. You have to fight them multiple times, generally in a run. Kind of getting a crap pattern from this one. He's gonna die pretty soon though, yeah. I know that a lot of these ground tanks aren't gonna fire at me if I stay in front of them. They tend to fire at you after they pass over. So that's just one thing, one little knowledge you can get about the enemy behavior. See that tank there, shot as it was leaving. That's generally what the ground tanks will do. I think they can shoot forward if you're far enough left though too. Now we fight another rival mech. Yeah, so just point blank it, mash it down. With the cluster, you do a lot of damage when you're mashing them down like that. Of course, with the laser, you can't do that. Vulcan, you actually can get higher damage output from mashing, or using a custom modifier button. Grenade, you're not going to benefit from it either. Alright, so we're in the next part here. Still a ways to go for this level. The charge there, that's going to give me a full level 3 charge on the sub-weapon. Again, you have 3 levels of charge on the sub-weapon. Level 1, you know, the weakest version. Not going to have as big of a width to it as well, the Firestorm, Fire Shower. I think they call it Firestorm in the game. Sounds more sinister than shower. Yeah, these particular, like I say, you can't get hit from touching enemies, but those particular ground enemies have they do have like a melee attack. Like, enemies do have melee attacks, so you still gotta watch out for that. But touching enemies generally does not hurt you. Yeah, so this power up here, I'm gonna actually switch to grenade for this boss because it's really good for keeping you protected. The Karnov cameos. Oh man. The rival mechs are tough. If you select the harder routes, they'll throw 2 rival mechs for you to fight at the same time, often. Yeah, so this is why I use grenade. It just eats up the flashing bullets. Pretty good. So this is pretty dang safe. Meanwhile, the pile bunker is piling the damage on. Yep, so there's the first part gone. And I'm actually gonna probably try to switch weaponry here because yeah, I'm just gonna switch weaponry because the boss is almost dead. And I'm gonna need, one problem that you run into is if you have grenade at the beginning of a level, you're kind of scrambling to get the power up, and if you don't get the right power up, it is pretty bad. But actually, this is good. Like, getting cluster there is great. I don't think I get that power up to show up all the time there, but I think in the future I'm just gonna try to switch to cluster there instead of at the beginning of the level. So now I don't have to worry about switching at the beginning of the level. Yeah, so we're going to 5D. This level is pretty dang tough. The rest of the easy route is like fairly laid back, but this level is a little bit harder, I think, than some of the other final levels. So here we go. It's actually great not to deal with the power-up because getting the power-ups in the beginning of this level is a pain, frankly. Usually I take a hit at the beginning of the level regardless because it's just... They love to just throw you into the madness in these levels. It's basically how it is. So I usually expect to take a hit at the beginning, but... That was good. Yep, so sometimes I take a hit there. It's pretty busy. Now we do have to fight 2 mechs. Still gonna have to do 2 at once on this route. I didn't make it over. You can jump in between them, it's good. You know, they do have stuff that they do. If I kill them early, I'm gonna trigger some early spawns of enemies. So these enemies are... You wouldn't see these ones if I had waited to kill them for a while. Whoa. This part's pretty hectic. Gonna try to mostly hug the right side of the screen here. And just kill a lot of this stuff before they even get a chance to fire is the whole idea here. Firestorm. You know, you get your sub-weapon charged up back pretty quick. So it's not like... It's not terrible, you know, all the time. Okay, so I just got melee from the back. Fight a blue mech here. He's a little different than the other ones, but not much. He's gonna be kind of coming after me here. Got him. That was a pretty good kill. I don't think he actually hit me. Stage still has some nasty moments. Just grab the cluster. Charging up that level 3, got a level 3 ready to go. You can kind of detect when the game's like throwing a lot of stuff at you. And you can kind of use your sub-weapon as like a panic bomb a lot of the time. If I tell that they're throwing a like crap load of enemies at me, you know, I'm gonna let that sub-weapon rip for sure. Like, maybe right there, but no, we got a charge right here, so. Yeah, right here, like, just tons of enemies all of a sudden. Did take a hit, but wasn't like the best usage of that. I know that purple guy was gonna be shooting at me as he left, so thankfully anticipated that. All right, so that was a pretty clean level. Actually, pretty good. I've been getting a little bit better at this level. I'm gonna go cluster here, and we got our final boss of this route. Capture should be 60 FPS, by the way. Gonna kind of just hound the boss, like going under him. Boss has a pattern to the way it bobs up and down. And I'm notably just watching out from that punch. I don't want to get punched. So it's gonna bob down right now, and it's gonna come back up. It does this pattern, and you want to note that pattern. So whenever it's bobbed up, get under it. Currently gotten punched twice, not super good. Want to avoid that. Be good if I could get my helpers back. Grab them. They're in a dangerous spot. I can only get one right now. Yeah, that's tough to avoid that shot. I did figure out recently where I need to be for that particular shot, though. But yeah, you want to do this because the melee damage is just so good. You want to get in there with that pretty bad. It wasn't time for me to go under, but yeah, it's a tough boss. Tough boss. Anyway, there you have it. The easy route for Wolfang. A lot of cool levels to play in this game. Really fun. Pretty good. A lot amount of memorization. By the way, this is the glitch on the Saturn version. This doesn't happen normally. Pretty bad. This is a pretty bad one. And the ending graphic glitch. Freak out. Second version's pretty good though. It just doesn't really have like properly looping music, and some of the sound effects are missing. But input lag doesn't really have any. It's pretty good. And then there's a PlayStation port as well. PlayStation port's a little bit better. And then there's a little bit of an inaccuracies to the actual gameplay here and there as well. But I can still recommend both of the ports. And then of note is that City Connection is going to be doing another Saturn tribute release, and they're going to put out Fang at the end of the year. I think you can pre-order a physical on that. That'd be pretty cool to own, but currently not planning on buying it. But nice that this game's getting some notice. I mean, the thing about this game is like it's not very popular, but it actually does have a kind of a cult following in Japan, and from the people who know the game. It really is outstanding as far as arcade games go, and the time that it came out, and just the sheer replayability factor. So to me, it is one of my favorite games, and you guys should definitely check it out if you like. If you're really into something quite difficult, but fun to play. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for the old Shmuptember. Yeah, do enjoy the rest of the evening here. And yeah, it was great to come on once again for this event and whatnot. And I was pretty happy with my runs and whatnot as well, so good times. But yeah, catch you guys around.